Alright guys, welcome to Mr. Anderson's video review for Pre-Calculus Prep, Unit 6 Sine Cosine Test. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through most of the questions from the review and just show you how I would approach them. The first question that I really wanted to go through is the proof of the law of sines and the law of cosines. Okay, if you're watching this video, I'm going to stress that this really boils down to understanding or memorizing. So if you give yourself enough time, and it really should not take you too much time to do this, these are gimme questions because you know exactly what I'm going to ask for. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the law of sines. So the law of sines. Okay, so the way this proof works is I'm going to draw myself a right triangle. Okay. Now, I want to stress something because I feel like some of y'all still do not understand what I mean when I say proof. What I'm showing you is I'm deriving where this comes from, where these theorems or these formulas come from. And again, I want to stress that one of the biggest, and I believe the most important point of mathematics, the reason why we do mathematics, even if you decide your life and your career is not going to be involved in mathematics, is this idea behind proof. We should always try to understand why we do what we do, why things are the way they are. Not just do it because somebody tells you, not just do it because everyone else is doing it. But we need sound arguments for why we do what we do, why we function the way we function. And we should always be striving for that. So that's kind of in a nutshell the idea behind this. Also, if you understand the proof of a mathematical formula in a more pragmatic sense, it really gets to the heart of what you're doing, and it makes what you're doing make more sense. So those are some of the main reasons why you want to make sure you have the proof of the law of sines down. All right, now to do some math. Okay, so I have this triangle here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a line going straight down. This line is called the, hopefully you said altitude. Yes, I'm going to label it H because it's also the height. Now, also remember that the angle that corresponds with the side opposite it, that we're going to label that little a here, and then the same thing over here with little b here. Okay, so little a is always going to be opposite the angle A. Okay, keep in mind that we labeled this H, so little a we're saying is this and not this. I understand that A corresponds with this side, but we've already called that H. And the same thing over here with B. Okay, so now what we can do, we start off, and usually when you're doing math and you don't know exactly what to do, you should always do this, you start off labeling what you do know. So I do know that sine A is H over B. And I also know sine B is H over A. Okay. If you're wondering where I'm getting this from, remember SOHCAHTOA. Opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite, hypotenuse, opposite, hypotenuse. Hopefully at this point, this is second nature to you. All right, from here, we are going to simplify. Remember, we don't like fractions, so we try to always get rid of them as soon as possible. Let's multiply both sides by b to cancel out the denominator. You get b sine A is H. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Multiply both sides by A. And we get A sine B is H. Now, b sine A is H. A sine B is H. They're both equal to H. So what does that mean about them? They're both equal to each other. So b sine A equals A sine B. And the last step is I'm going to clean this up. Now, in class, what we've been doing is we've actually been solving these problems using a variant of what the notes say. The notes have A over sine A and then B over sine B. Because we solved the proof this way, we have it inverted. It doesn't matter. So if you're a person that likes to just read notes, do it on your own. kind of get what's going on. That's fine if you're a person that likes to pay attention in class and do what Mr. Anderson's doing. That's fine. Doesn't matter. So they actually end up giving you the same thing. Okay? You always get the correct answer either way. So the reason why I divided by AB is because this A and this B cancel out. So I'm left with sine A over A equals sine B over B. And there you have it. And there's the law of sines. Also, by the way, some people sometimes may sit there and wonder, well, Mr. Anderson, this isn't saying sine C equals C. And you're right, it's not saying that. But you can make the same argument. If I change this A to C, then we would have derived the same exact thing, except instead of B, we'd have C. So it follows from a similar argument that this is true. By the way, if you read a lot of math textbooks, if you look at a lot of math books, they do say that. They say, following a similar argument, you can show that sine C over C is true as well, is equal to these other two. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully this helps out a little bit. As you can see, it's really not that difficult. If you practice this a couple times, you really should have this down. All right, see you in the next video.